Let's speak now to Joe Owen, who's from the Institute for Government. And it's about the numbers. I mean, let's take the EU out of this for a moment. This has got to get through Parliament. And this backstop issue is at the heart of that difficulty.
Yeah, so if you assume for a moment that the EU says, yep, fine, we like it, you can have it, and the legal text comes out of nowhere before the European Council, they then need to get a majority in Parliament. Now, there were kind of two groups that never came through for Theresa May when she put her deal forward. There were the kind of Brexiteer wing of her party in the DUP, and there was also the Labour leavers, the people that she was courting and trying to construct a deal that would win over. And I think, she told the EU numerous times there were 50 or 60 of them ready to vote at the next time. And those two groups never came through. Now, we've heard some kind of tentative responses from the Brexiteer side of the Conservative Party that suggests that they may be more supportive of this, but he's also lost 21 MPs, and those 21 MPs and also the Labour MPs that support a deal prefer a much softer Brexit. So if those Labour MPs liked the fact there was a UK-wide customs union, they liked the alignment of the UK to level playing field provisions, those things have disappeared in this draft. So it's not clear whether they would support this.
The gamble that Boris Johnson is taking quite clearly is that there are those that will do pretty much almost anything to avoid a no deal, and any deal will be better than that.
Yeah, and so I think that becomes a very credible threat if they get through a kind of first meaningful vote, if you like, and this Benn legislation falls away, because then he can very credibly...
How does it fall away, though? It can't fall away.
So the Benn legislation will fall away if Parliament votes in favour of a deal in principle before the 19th of October. Therefore, there's a provision in the Benn Act that says if that happens, fine, you can pursue to the October 31st deadline in trying to ratify the deal. But if they do not pass that legislation, then it looks like the Prime Minister's next letter to Donald Tusk will be one asking for an extension on the 19th of October.
What are the other difficulties that you foresee with this?
Well, we've kind of skirted over it at the beginning, but the big challenge is how this will be received in Brussels, and whether, the fact that the UK is putting in essentially a time limit and an exit, which was something that Brussels was so against with Theresa May negotiating, and then the fact that it puts a customs border down the middle of the island of Ireland, which is against what the two sides signed up to in the joint report, this kind of protecting the all-island economy, no associated checks. This UK government saying, look, we don't stand by that. We would like to see what we can do away from the border to minimise the checks, but that's something that the EU are not likely to be that keen on. The other big challenge is the purpose of a backstop is to have something that can be in place if we fail to agree a future relationship at the end of transition, which is currently the end of next year. Mm-hmm. These are some big changes. It's creating one border between the UK, between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and another border between Northern Ireland and the Republic. Just the practicalities of getting that in place, getting traders ready, all of the businesses that need to adapt, and the intermediaries. 14 months, even if they had absolute clarity on what it would look like now, would be a huge task. In the past, these things are years in the making. So practically, it's a big challenge too.
Joe, sorry about the coffee.
No problem.
Fascinating. Thank you very much, Joe Owen, from the Institute for Government. Thank you.